boys and girls, and welcome to Science with the Gillespies. So you've met my daughter Paige before, and Sean, and this is my oldest son Colin. So Colin is graduating from college in a week, and we had a fun delivery to our house, which we're going to show you in a minute, that we thought we would do a cool science experiment with. But before we start that, we have to go over something just so you understand what we're talking about. So we're going to learn a little bit about matter. And matter is anything that has weight and takes up space. There are 3 states of matter: solid, like a pencil; liquid, like a glass of lemonade; and gas, which is air inside of a balloon. So to demonstrate the 3 states of matter, we're going to have you take a look at something here that you're all familiar with inside this bowl. So inside this bowl, I have ice. So Sean, what state of ice do you think, what state of matter do you think ice is?
Ice is a solid.
That's right, it's a solid. So we're going to go ahead and pour some really hot water onto the ice and try to think about what will happen. So Paige, what do you think will happen when we pour the hot water onto ice?
I think it will melt into water, into a liquid form.
Is that what you guessed, boys and girls? Okay, let's see what happens. Getting smaller. So you can see here that the ice is melting rather quickly and turning into liquid. So our ice moved from a solid state to a liquid state. And the really cool thing about water is that if we put it on the stove in this tea kettle and boiled it, it would steam and it would make a gas. All right, now, here comes a really cool experiment. Okay, so for Colin's graduation, we ordered him a really special treat. He goes to Penn State, and at Penn State they have yummy ice cream. And it just arrived today. And inside the package is something really, really cold. It's actually called dry ice that kept the ice cream really cold. So we're going to talk about what dry ice is, and we're going to show you a really neat science experiment.
So, dry ice gets its name from the fact that rather than melting into a liquid like regular ice, it goes directly from a solid into a gas. That process is known as sublimation. So dry ice is actually frozen carbon dioxide, which is the gas that you breathe out every time you breathe. So we're going to show you what happens when we mix dry ice with the hot water. Now, one special thing about dry ice is that when you freeze it, it freezes at a much lower temperature than water does. So that means we can't actually touch it with our bare hands. So I'm going to carefully remove a piece. So we're going to put it here. As you can see, it's already starting to sublimate. The
Which
vapor there is...
again means turn into a gas.
Yes, thank you, Paige. So, but then we can speed up the process by applying a little heat.
Now this water we boiled on the stove, so it's really hot.
So as soon as you touch it in, you can see it immediately starts to release more gas. And it's starting to move around too. Now it's moving around because it's sublimating on the bottom, which is creating a thin layer of gas underneath it, like an air hockey table. In fact, if you take this piece here, you can play air hockey in your house. But unfortunately, Mom vetoed that idea. Dry ice's ability to go directly from a solid to a gas is the reason why it's used so frequently. One such example is shipping. For example, my ice cream containers. If we packed regular ice in there, as it shipped, it would melt into water, and it would get the ice cream all wet and gross, and we don't want that. So instead, we use dry ice, and it goes directly from a solid to a gas, meaning that there's no mess to clean up. So, now we have a little bit more fun with this, and show you a cool experiment you can do with dry ice. So now we've moved the dry ice into the smaller container here. So we're gonna pour some hot water directly onto it. This make it go
Whoa.
super fast. Now, Paige is gonna take this piece of string, just soaked in soapy water, and carefully rub it over the edge.
Should I try again?
Try it again.
We're trying to get a film of bubble juice right across the top. There you go.
Slowly and carefully does it.
Got it.
Oh, good.
Now you see, that bubble is containing all of the carbon dioxide inside.
That's cool.
And it's growing. And it's dancing. And it's growing. Now, I'm gonna ruin all of her hard work.
Ah.
So, yeah, so we form the bubble once again, and this time it is slowly growing. As it cools down, it sublimates less, meaning that this one, compared to previous ones, is growing slower. So now we're gonna let this one grow all the way until it pops on its own.
Look how big it's getting. Holy cow.
Woo!
And there it goes. So now we're gonna do one last experiment. This one is a bit of a mess. So we're gonna add lots and lots of hot water. Now, we're gonna mix in the bubbles directly into that.
And this is just bubble juice or dishwashing liquid?
And give it a bit of a stir. And
Oh.
instead of getting one big bubble, you get lots and lots of little bubbles.
And it looks like a brain.
And then when you pop
Whoa.
them, the steam comes out. And that steam is the carbon dioxide, not water.
That's so cool.
Looks like a brain.
Looks like you can just pick off pieces and like,
Look, it's like
it's like kind
Catch.
of warm.
it's like
Oh.
jelly like.
Yo, Connor, ready?
So cool. So, did you enjoy that experiment, boys and girls? That was really cool to learn about dry ice and how it works. So that was Science with the Gillespies. Thank you, everybody. Have fun.
bye.
Bye.